doing a love working and an hour of animosity, well, guess what's gonna happen? Failing to prepare is preparing to fail. There's scientific research that backs this, guys. Hey guys, and welcome to another practical video here. Today we're going to talk about ritual preparation. You need to ask yourself, do you just get up and start summoning, or are there some preparations that go into place? I mean, you don't go and play an NBA game without preparation. Think about it in the concept of sports. Teams would gather and prepare the whole week for that game on Saturday night. Right? It's the same thing in magic. You don't just get up and open your book and start summoning because you found a ritual and you thought it would be interesting, or you thought that this spirit can help you do this certain thing. There are preparations involved, and most of the time in the context of Arabic magic, those preparations are not indicated because they just take it for granted, or they're looking for you to mess stuff up if you're not initiated. First of all, okay, I'm not perfect. I wasn't born like out of the womb that I know Arabic magic like I do now. And even, I would say 5-10 years ago, I wasn't this good. So it's not because like I'm telling you something that, I'm telling you my mistakes. I'm telling you what I've done. It's not like I spend my time scouring the internet looking for everything that people are doing wrong. Although now with the group, many people are asking questions and I can see where they're struggling. But I've done many of these mistakes myself. You're just going through this book and you're like, oh, this seems nice, this seems powerful, this seems interesting. Let me go ahead and try it, right? Without any preparation. Lo and behold, right? Might or might not work. Usually it's more might not than might. So just like everyone else, I wasn't getting results consistently. And even now, there are many people who claim to be experts and they fully admit that they're not getting results consistently, whereas that's not true. If you're in it to win it, you need to prepare for it. So it wasn't until I started timing and preparing my rituals that my consistency with results has skyrocketed. So it wasn't just about, I'm looking to do this and I'm just going to do some research and find a ritual and do it off the top of my head. It became more like that Wednesday, precisely at sundown, I performed this specific ritual with that specific Jinn king and asked them for this specific thing because that's the right time to do it. You see the difference? Night and day. It might seem simplistic, but it makes a world of a difference, guys. I can tell you that much. And you might ask yourself, but why? It's because you're being judged. Okay? So at that precise time that you're working, you need to know that it's the appropriate spirit who is ruling it. But not only that, you also need to know that it's in line with your intention. Okay? So that's two things here. And that can only serve to drive results. Because if you're doing a love working and an hour of animosity, well, guess what's going to happen? Things are going to go back. Okay? Things are going to go the opposite way. Even though you did everything right, the stars are working against you. And you against the stars, who's going to win? Potentially, if your will is supreme and you're connected with the Creator on a personal level, maybe. But otherwise, if you're like the most of us, that's not going to go too well. The more elements that you have in place dialed down before you do your actual ritual, the more confident you will be in the operation. And the more confidence you have, the more belief you have in your work. And the more belief you have, the more powerful your results. See how that connects together? This is very, very important. Now, what incense are you going to use? What are you going to wear? What conjuration are you going to use? How many times are you going to repeat that conjuration? But it's not just the conjuration. You don't just start, Bismillah Rahman Rahim and come here you and do this and do that. No, there are pre-ritual steps. Okay? You need to protect yourself. You need to dismiss the dwellers. If you're confident, the spirits are more amenable to working with you. I mean, this is not just about the spirits. This is about human beings. No one wants to work with someone who's doubtful about everything, who's undecisive, who doesn't know what they're doing. Right? If you want to follow someone, you want to work with someone, they have to be confident about what they're doing. They have to at least seem like they are. And preparation goes a long way to build that up for you. And I always link magic to sports because both are practices. Many people think that magic is a field of study. Good for you, but it's actually a sport. You think about it in the concept of football or soccer. Right? The team plays on the weekend, but they have 3 or 4 practices during the week. They're practicing their tactics, they're practicing their gameplay. Everything is dialed down so that when they get to the real game, that it's win or lose, do or die, they're very ready. It's like second nature to them because they have practiced it so much. That is the way you want to approach your rituals, like it's game time. When that hour comes at that specific day, you're ready to go. You know your conjuration, you know what you're doing, you know what incense to use, you know how to petition, you know how many times you're going to repeat it. You're just going from one thing to the next. You're not rushing, you're not fumbling through your words, you're not wondering what step goes next because you're prepared. If you're not, you're like, oh, well, what should I do now? Oh, should I do some more incense? Oh, should I repeat the conjuration one more time? Oh, are the spirits there? And as soon as you do that, your mind goes into a million directions and you lose your focus. Because guess what? You need to be single-mindedly focused on whatever you're doing in order to get anywhere near the finish line. Okay? Athletes talk about that all the time. It's about focus, about it being in the game. So if you're not prepared, your head is automatically out of the game. I could go on and on and on. This is good in fighting. This is good. Any practice you imagine. This is good for open heart surgery. That's why surgeons practice. Anything. Anything. Preparation is key, guys. Preparation cannot be overemphasized. Preparation is not only knowing what you're going to do, but how you're going to do it. Now, I will give you the tip that I give my private students in order to help them prepare the rituals. So what I advise them is to go through the ritual. I give them the whole outline. It's step 1, step 2. So that takes a lot out of it, right? I just don't give them a bunch of information and say, here you go, good luck. I give them a precise framework, a precise blueprint, and for each blueprint, I tell them to take a moment and imagine themselves doing it. Imagine themselves performing that step. And even when that step is successful, I ask them to imagine how it will be when it's successful before moving on to the next step. And they will do the same process of imagining themselves all the way through the ritual. This is the concept of mental rehearsal, which is scientifically proven to increase results dramatically. Okay, there's scientific research that backs this, guys. Why not use what we know today as an advanced society and incorporate it into our magical age-old practice, right? It can only benefit it. So mental rehearsal is key. So I'm going to close my eyes, read the conjuration, and then I will feel the sensation of the conjuration that I'm protected. And then I will move on to the dismissal of the dwellers. And then I will imagine myself doing that until I feel that the dwellers have left, all the way through the ritual. That way, you're just going from one thing to the next. I know when I need to put more incense. I know when I need to pause. I know when I need to stop. I know when I need to repeat something. I know what to do next. And the mind works in a way that if you know what to do next, you're confident in what you're doing now. And that's why we're able to consistently achieve the desired outcome. So I thought that I would make this video to help you unlock smoothness. And you do mental rehearsal until you know, without even going through each and every single step, it's kind of like hardwired in your mind exactly what you need to do. That's the signal that your subconscious mind has been properly prepared and primed for success instead of failure. And that is the difference between unprepared and prepared rituals. It's the difference between someone who does something, they're not really good at it, and someone who's good at something, they do it smoothly and it seems effortless and it seems easy. And why you're doing that, I mean, you're all alone. It's for the spirits. So when you're doing that, this guy's, or this girl, she's a natural. You know, she seems like someone we can work with. And that makes them more amenable to working with you, to doing what you want.